Welcome, fans, once again to Wizard World's virtual experiences as the crowd emojis wildly. Let me see those emojis out there. I am your regular host, Mike G, Director of Programming here at Wizard World, and I'm very excited to welcome to the virtual stage one of our pals. Please welcome Captain Dan Sparrow, everybody.
Oh, hello, boys, girls, and whatever. Welcome to Wizard World, hey?
Captain Dan, welcome to Virtual Zoom. Have you Virtual Zoom before, Captain Dan?
Once or twice, but since we've all been stuck in the locker, you know, I've had a lot more time on my hands, so learning how to use this newfangled stuff, hey? It's good fun, isn't it?
It's good fun. It's good fun. And the good news is you can always have a bottle of rum right off a screen. You know what I mean?
The brands are available.
Captain Dan, thank you so much for joining us. What a treat. What a pleasure. We heard you have a very important announcement to make right now. Tell us what this insider bit of info that you have is.
Yes. If you're waiting for the opportune moment, this is it. If you want virtual chat, meeting, even signed photographs, some of your mates from the crew, from the original films, even some of those yeasty codpiece mutineers, we've got all of them on board. Well, not all of them, but the best ones anyway. And if you want to get in touch with them through Wizard World, you can book 2-minute chats you can get any heart desires. Pintel, even Giselle, just watch out for those slaps, eh? But please,
Yeah.
look at Wizard World. I'll sort you out, Savvy.
That's right. Thank you, Captain Dan. That's right, everyone. Just like Captain Dan Sparrow said, they'll be doing live video chats, virtual photo ops, autographs, video recorded messages. So get your favorite cast members. Head to wizardworldvirtual.com now. Those are taking place Saturday, November 21st. Captain Jack, thank you. Captain Dan, excuse me, Captain Dan. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Tell everybody a little bit about where they can follow you on the social media.
Well, Facebook, Instagram, just look up Captain Dan Sparrow. All one word, that'll be on there. Also on Cameo, you can get a message from me to you, whatever your heart wants, you know. G-ups, good lucks, happy birthday, even Christmas. We will have one this year, we will, hey.
And I will forever remember this day, Captain Dan, as the day that I almost captured Captain Dan Sparrow. Savvy, mate, cheers. Good to hang out with you.
Bring me the horizon, eh?
I remember at the time, I mean, it's amazing to see all these faces. Some of these guys I haven't seen, and Vanessa I haven't seen since 2002. I think we filmed it. Yeah. But it was such a great ensemble piece. That's what, you know, obviously Johnny is the sort of main man in it and everything. But I remember being on set and everyone was abuzz with how great the actual work was. And with us at the time, there was a feeling that it was going to be a success. It couldn't be a success, or it couldn't not be a success, because, you know, we could, it's very rare when you do a job that you can actually feel a sort of frisson on set and stuff, like, you know, and we knew, you know, it had to be a sort of a success because it was so well written and so well performed, and you could see people just jumping into it, and it was great.
It was so incredible. You would be on set and you literally felt like, I remember the very first morning when I shot in the Caribbean, because we did stuff in LA first, and we were taking a shuttle over to where Tortuga was and where the pirate ships were, and you know, you're on this boat at sunrise in St. Vincent, and you come into this beautiful bay that looks like you're in the 1700s, and the entire experience was just so incredible and authentic, and you really felt like you stepped back in time. There was no way, I mean, didn't even think that it wasn't going to be a success. It was just, the entire thing was incredibly well done.
But yeah, I'll say too, like I give a lot of credit to like obviously Gore. Gore was the man. Any film, it's always got to be led by like the director in a film is the number one. He had a kick-ass script. I mean, you're absolutely right. The play's the thing, and they were there, but his energy was always number one. He was always having the most fun on a rainy day. He'd be in his Gorton fisherman outfit and like
smoking the big cigars.
Yeah, he was like loving it. It was like, he was like Colonel, Kilgore in Apocalypse Now, as the bombs were exploding, looking for surf, you know.
Or Hannibal in the A-Team. I love it when
and Jerry Bruckheimer. I mean, let's not. We should be saluting Jerry, because Jerry makes movies that he wants to see, and he had like the balls to like go for it with a pirate movie when, you know, and stick with Johnny when the studio didn't know what Johnny was. And we're all like, what is that guy? It was freaking Jack Sparrow, 2 light years ahead of everybody. Yeah. Right. And
yeah, that character he came up with was spectacular.
Gore and Jerry saw all that.
Yeah,
absolutely. And then the studio bet on Haunted Mansion, right? They thought that was going to be their big hit. So there weren't toys, there weren't tie-ins. And the audience, this movie was in the theater for like a year.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it took a while for it to, I mean, it made a ton of money in its opening weekend, but then it stuck. People went back and saw it 2 times, 3 times. You know what I mean? Which
fans made us. I mean, I just want to make sure, like, a shout out to Pirate Nation out there. And every success I've had in my career, the shows that have really taken off, it's because the fans get into it. And
I think they also didn't. I don't think they understood that there was actual pirate groups of people out there that loved doing pirates long before Pirates of the Caribbean came out. I mean, I've been going to Ren fairs since I was in my teens.
Yeah.
And even when I was in college, I was living in Florida, I'd go to Ren fairs, and they'd have pirate days out there then, because they loved pirates back before the movie came out, because people have been in this pirate culture long before this. and they didn't realize how many fans of pirates were out there. And then when they saw a movie like that, then it just even blew up even more.
You know, when it
also
was going to be a hit. Remember we had that party, New Year. Was it no, it was a Super Bowl party, and at the bar, and they showed the trailer for the first time, and we all went nuts, and we were like, wow, we finally know what we're a part of, because we were all dressed up, and we were, Lee, myself, we wake up at 4 a.m, be in makeup for 2-3 hours. We didn't know what the heck we were a part of. But when we saw that trailer, I remember all of us looking at each other going, oh shit.
And it was like
Super Bowl too, and the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl that day also.
What?
So also.
Oh my
Over
God.
the Raiders.
Yeah.
but two pirate teams. It was like the Stars and the Lions, the Raiders and the Buccaneers, man. It was incredible.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's an awesome trivia fact about the Pirates trailer. Yeah, that's hilarious.
We actually shot a commercial for the Super Bowl. Remember that? But they didn't use it.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember that.
With a soccer ball in it.
Yeah. Martin, go ahead. Yeah, Martin, go ahead. Talk a little about your experience.
They had Johnny and a bunch of us, and then Orlando and a bunch of us, and we were going like, "Go Raiders, go Bucks!" And I thought it was supposed to open the Super Bowl, from what I believe, but I guess they didn't get the can back then in time to get it set up for the actual Super Bowl. So they scrapped that idea and then just aired a commercial for the trailer for the movie instead. But we had a whole thing. Remember, I think you guys were out there being on one of the boats.
Yeah.
Half and half, and it was kind of crazy. It was kind of cool.
And also, part of the brilliance, Mike, I thought too, script. And it was actually a secret too of Once Upon a Time, was with these Disney, Disney has so many fans that the writers, that they honored the pirate ride with images, and they built that into the characters, the dog with the keys, the gives in the mud, and so that said to me, like, I always thought that was like just a way to say to your audience, we want you, this is your pirates that we're telling the story of, but we're just changing a little bit. Will you come for this ride? And that, led by Johnny. I mean, think about Kira became a huge movie star in Orlando. We watched these young actors explode, and
he was 17 at the time. Her mother had to be there as her chaperone. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Zoe too. Zoe Saldana.
Zoe,
Zoe, exactly. Saldana.
She's done now. She hasn't moved on to do anything. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think I was the last guy that got cast. It brought in. So I remember coming in, having one line, and then being told I was going to work a couple weeks. And I go, okay, great, whatever. But then when we were in Long Beach, Gore comes up to me. He's like, hey, man, I like what you're doing. We're going to keep you on throughout. I'm like, oh, really? What is that? Throughout. So throughout to the end, 6 months later. So it was a blast. But, I just remember going in, auditioning and improvising, and just did it. And the next thing you know, boom, you get booked. You never know.
I think the interesting thing is the people don't understand what it was like to be on the Black Pearl when it was in P1, when we were just on a barge with 500 people having to share like 2 porta-johns. Every time we had to reshoot, we had to be towed because we had a tugboat out there to pull us back into position, because it didn't have a motor. So it's like, those were some long, long days. 14, 15-hour days, which, didn't hurt the pocketbook, but I mean, being on something for that long, think about it, 500 people using 2 porta-johns. You never had a hot lunch, right? It was always a box lunch. So, you try to feed everybody.
I don't know. I don't remember. I remember it, but I had a great time. I don't know. I was having a great time. And it were long days. My makeup alone was 3 hours because I had to put every last one of those little dots on my skin, all those keloid marks all over me, then paint me with this brownish colored makeup to make me look kind of sweaty and dirty. 3 hours every single day.
Well, we would write. You and I think we wake up at the same time, like at 3 a.m, be on that show.
Mm-hmm. But my audition process was fun because my audition scene was that scene where they bring Kira on the boat for the first time, and I have interaction with them, and I smack her and tell her to speak when spoken to. So a lot of fans want me to sign that whenever I sign their autographs. Or the other scene where she's looking at Orlando, we've got her on the plank, and I'm like, too long. I stamp on the plank, and she falls off into the ocean. For some reason, the fans like for me to be violent. I don't understand it, but okay. It's what you earthlings love violence for some reason. But I don't mind. But it was just fun. It was a great time all the time. I was just having a great time to be finally, you could see my face. Because before that, I was doing movies like Planet of the Apes, 4-hour makeup every single day. You could hear my voice, but you didn't hear who it was. I was in Galaxy Quest before that, 3-hour makeup every single day to put that thing on. So I was just glad people could see my face finally, because I just moved to LA in like a year and a half before that. So
poor baby.
I think my makeup took all of 5 minutes, so I was lucky. all we were told, being the sort of pasty-faced Englishmen, was just to keep out of the sun, and especially in LA and thing, it was like 90 degrees every day, in the Caribbean. It was just. I remember just having such fun, but being overwhelmed. I'd only done like one. I think I was like 20, 21 at the time or something. I'd just recently come out of drama school, and I'd done one TV episodic before in the UK, and then suddenly to be flown to LA, it was a different world, We had the read through in the Viper Room on Sunset Boulevard. And so I was like picked up by a stretched car in the morning and driven to the Viper Room, because Johnny Depp owned the Viper Room at the time. And and that's the only reason he wanted to do the read through there, so he could smoke while he did the thing, because he owned the building. When we were doing the read through, I remember looking out the window and seeing the Whiskey A Go Go, and I was always a huge Doors fan when I was like 16, 17, and just going, my God. And then walking on the set for the first time and seeing the castle at the start, where at the start of the film, when Kira faints and everything and then falls off just the sheer size of it. And this thing was actually built to scale. It was incredible. It was incredible. It was amazing, and all the extras and everything, supporting artists. It was just an amazing experience, incredible.
I love to hear the 3 or 4 hour makeup stories, and then Damien, just stay pasty, Damien. If you could just stay out of the.
Lauren and I were 5 minutes too. We just they threw some white powder on us and a little bit of red stuff, and then it was 3 hours getting the corset on.
How about that wig?
But all these other guys looked sexy, and the sort of pirate outfit and everything. Look good. The sort of wigs on and the tri-cornered hats and the white face, it was like.
Lauren had a wig. I had no wig. They just ratted this up, and I just left it ratty, and that was that.
Well, I didn't have a uniform to wear, so I just had no shirt. I just had on my Baldric, a pair of pants, and some boots, and in my my gun. So that was it. I didn't have a shirt or anything like that, so it was easy to dress.
The first time that I lit the bombs off my beard was in the back lot over at Universal, and I didn't rehearse it. I had no clue what was going on. Those bombs, and when I lit, I went, "Oh shit!" That scream natural. It was just like, "Oh shit!" I gotta go over here. I gotta throw it. So and I couldn't see either, because this the instant smoke and all that going into my eyes really irritated them. But hey, got through it, and it was a lot of fun, and great time. What a blast!
I challenge any of you men to do this stuff in a corset.
Hey,
I have a corset on right now.
Oh, all right.
Let's see it.
That's Kira. That's Kira Knightley's big line too, I think, Vanessa. Right? Doesn't she say not as tough without a corset? Yeah.
It's true though. It's true.
I did drag in the first movie, and I had to row a boat in the Caribbean in a corset, and that sucked.
They did.
I remember in the fourth one on Stranger Tides, my actual death was I had Ian McShane's Blackbeard, obviously, is going for Barbossa, Jeffrey, and I stand in front, or I think I sort of go to help Jeffrey, and he actually pulls me right in front of him. So Ian kills me. And Ian, actually, the sword he had with this huge, really heavy sort of cutlass type thing, you know, which must have weighed about 10 pounds, like, you know. And he's meant to fake hitting the back of my head. And the camera's right here to get my reaction, you know, and I have to pretend to be, And Ian was like, wasn't too comfortable rehearsing this. And he was like, oh, no. I just said, you know, you just stay about a foot away. So, you know, you don't go near the head at all. And he rehearsed it about 5 times with the stunt guy. And of course, roll, camera, action, clunk. He smacks me right in the head with this thing. And my face just went, ah! Right. And Rob Marshall went, we've got it. Great shot. Thank God that was it. So we had the shot, but this sort of cartoon Bugs Bunny lump came up through my wig, like, you know, but so that was a good memory from the 4th, you know. But
yeah, I think for me, I think there was a day where Johnny and I were only set alone, and I had to throw him in the jail in the bowels of the ship. And if you remember, the ship had water, it was taking on water downstairs. So anyway, they had us on a gimbal stage. It was a stage that rocks back and forth. So they had water on there, about 6 to 8 inches of water, and they kept slathering the floor with this slimy black stuff to make it more glistening in this film and in this camera. And so I'm just supposed to walk with him to the cage with my hand on his shoulder, put him in the jail, and then shut the door. So we did it a couple of times. And one time, I remember holding on to the shoulder. Next thing I remember, the next second, I'm laying on my side in the water because it was so slippery because our boots didn't have any kind of traction on it at all. And they're like, Isaac, are you okay? I just looked up at Johnny and said, aren't you glad I let go of your shoulder? Because I'm taking him down with me. But yeah, I was like, 1 minute I'm standing, next minute I'm laying sideways in this water, all wet.
That's the first time I met Lee, was down there. You know, they were doing that scene where Lee's telling a story, and he kept slopping back and forth as they're mopping, and the slop kept getting on us. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna mosey my way, even though I'm the little guy. So they keep wanting to keep me up front so I get some camera time. I'm like, yeah, this is one of those times I don't care if I'm not in the camera. And he's out of the way because Lee slopping it would come up on me. And then I just remember that, oh, I'm telling a story. My head. So yeah, that's the first time I met Lee.
Is it pronounced Caribbean or Caribbean? Let's do, we've got one for Caribbean. Caribbean.
It's Caribbean. They were the Carib Indians.
Yeah, right?
They're the Caribs, so it's for sure Caribbean.
Yeah, that's what I think. Isaac, are you gonna?
I'll say Caribbean also.
Yeah, I thought that was a British American difference in the pronunciation, but
it is a British. Yeah, I mean they say Caribbean in England and in the UK and stuff, and Caribbean over here. But I think actually I remember Gore saying everyone it should be Caribbean.